Right, guys. So, grid view, hard coding everything like this, adding a lot of containers, as children for the grid view count, is very, very quite disturbing and very, very annoying, right, guys? So that is why there is another widget instead of grid view.count. There is another widget called GridView.builder. Unlike using ListView.builder, it's kind of works similarly like the same thing, right? So how can we do? We just have to return a GridView.builder. Well, if we want to do that, just gonna say GridView.builder, just like this. And this builder has a grid delegate. This is very, very important. When you are working with a builder, it has a grid delegate, right? So with a grid delegate, you simply have to say silver grid delegate with fixed cross, right? So we say silver grid delegate with fixed cross axis, right? Ax count, just like this. Well, that's it. So whilst you have this inside here, we can go ahead and specify the cross axis count and then the cross spacing count as we did for the grid view.count. So we're just going to say cross axis count, and I'm just going to set this up to 5. Then I say cross axis spacing. We just have to add up a spacing to this, and I'm just going to set it up to 5.0. And last but not the least, that is going to be the main axis spacing, and that too I'm just going to set it up to 5.0. Okay, so after this we just have to return the item builder. This is really, really important, and the item builder is actually going to be a context and an index, right? Okay, so we just have to return something here, and what I'm going to return is a container. I'm just going to return a container. Okay, perfect. So we are returning a container here, but here we have some error here. So all we have to do is just make sure the grid delegate actually works well. So before the grid delegate, I just want to add up a physics, right? So I'm just going to go to physics, and from this physics I'm just going to say never scroll physics, like this. Okay, and also I'll just add a shrink wrap, and I'll set it up to true. So if the items are really more, if they are many, it's just gonna shrink it out. Okay, now this is where the silver grid view comes in. So let's type it again: SILVER, silver, right? So it says silver grid, then you say delegate, right? Silver grid delegate, then we save with fixed, just like this. I just want to take my time and take you through this as this count, just like this. Right, guys? Okay, perfect. So whilst we have our grid delegate, we are good to go, and that really, works perfectly fine. Now let's try to fix these underlines by just adding the const right here, just like this, and it's just gonna work it out. Now we have to specify an item count right after the item builder, right? after the item builder, we just have to add an item count. Really like how we did. If you are working with a list view dot builder, you just have to specify an item count. Right, so I'm just going to go here, then I say item count, and for now I'm just going to set it up to 15. And with the container, I'm just going to set the width to maybe 50, maybe 100, and set the height to 100. And I just want to set the color to colors blue. Okay, so this is it. Now we have those 15 counts here. Can really say 100, and you will see the 100 counts just right there, right? But we don't have any, we have the cross spacing, we have the main axis and all that, right? This is the cross spacing, and we don't have any padding here, so I can just add a padding. That is going to be edge insets dot all, and I'm just going to set it up to 8.0. Let's save this and see. There you go, we have a nice padding. But if we want to add some custom files to this, we can use either a list or a class. So in this case, I'm just going to use a class for this. But before I do this, just want to set the count to 3. And there you go, I have a very beautiful count right here. And as you can see, it really works fine. So I just want to go down here and just create a new class. Then I'm just going to call this my grade, right? So my grade. Okay, and inside this my grades, I'm just going to add some strings. So I'm just going to say strange title or strange text or whatsoever. That's cool. And I'll just say I can even call color. Then I call this color let me say C, right? Just want to do this. Now I have to add a constructor, right? So I can simply say my grades, then I add in a constructor here, just like this. So we have to use the required keyword, or if you don't want to use the required, just add this in front of the text, so it's not going to be required, right? You can do this. That means it's not required. So we just have to say this dot text, this dot c, right? Okay, so we are done with our constructor. So now let's come up here, then let's just create a new list, and this list is going to be list of list of my grades. Just copy that, then bring it here, list of my grades, and I'm going to call this base grade, right? Okay, and this base grade is equal to be a list. It's going to be list of some items or list of something. So I'm just going to say my grade, which has a color. So I'm just going to say C is going to be a color. So I'm just going to say colors dot blue. Then I say text. It's going to be a text. So I'm just going to say text 1. Perfect. Now I can go down here. Instead of the item count setting it up to 100, I can simply say this list we created here, there you go, dot count, sorry, dot length, just like this, and save it. You see only one grid view here because we only have one grid view right here, right? And the text, let's set a text to this. Okay, there you go. We should be able to get a text, but we are not adding the text to this. So we come here from the container, we are returning this from the container. We are just adding it to the container. So with a child of the container, let's add a child to the container. So I'm just going to say child. That is going to be a center widget which has a child of a text, and this text is actually going to be this base grid view. There you go. Then we specify the index we want to specify. Then we say dot text, just like this. Exactly. Right. So if we want to work with this, let's go to the color like this, and we're just going to say base grid base grid. Then we specify the index. Then we say dot C. That is also going to work perfectly fine. Right, guys? That's so cool. Let's fix this error to see how it is being done. So, to fix this error, basically it's very simple. You can remember that we have a string here, and we said it is not, really necessarily to be required. That is the reason why we are getting this error. Now, when we hover the mouse on this, it says the argument type string can't be assigned to the parameter type string, right? Oh, come on. So, the only thing you have to do is just make this to be required. So, just come here, then you add required. Here, and that should be able to fix this error. Now, just save your project once again, let it hard reload, and you will see the text right here. Let's just add some style to this, and that is actually going to be a text style. Let's just add some color is the white. Just like this, and save this. Okay, let's just add a const here. Then we just have to add one more. Perfect. So I'll just reformat this, and there you go. Perfect. So let's just save it, and there we go. We have a white text right here. Okay, so when we come up here, we can really copy this and really paste it several times. And what I'm gonna do, just gonna set this to 2, this to 3, this to 4, and this to 5, right? And with the colors, I'll just set to this to red, this to green, this to black, and this to yellow, right? So save this, and you will see all of those grid views right way up here. That really works amazingly. We've added this, so we just have to go to the run and click on this hot restart. So it's actually going to restart the whole thing, and it adds the containers we added. There you go. So this is how we use GridView.builder with classes. Take your time, take a deep dive, learn a lot, try to understand the concept, try to practice along, since the great book says, practice makes a man perfect. Try to work along with it, set up your own examples, make fun of it, and you will be good with it. My name is Ikesoft Original, and I'm very, very excited to take you through this journey. If you find this video to be helpful, please don't hesitate to like the video, smash the subscribe button if you've yet not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet. And one more thing, if even you dislike this video, just dislike it from the video. Just dislike the video. It's completely fine. Until then, have a nice day, and Ikesoft Original is out.